Alright, welcome back everyone. My name's Anthony, this is my shop, this is my channel. I am on to this Jeep. Let me show you what's going on. Let me get this caliper in a position so you guys can see it. This is the one with the left rear ABS tone ring performance. So you can see the mud and crust on there. You can also see the mud and crust up in there. And then also in behind the rotor, besides the brakes are shot. And you can see that they're chalky white, means they're overheating. So this is hanging up in the back. Down here, inside of the parking brake under the rear rotor, you can see all this dirt and dust. What I want to do, I want to show you something. Let me get a magnet. So depending on what part of the world that this guy who owned this vehicle prior, and I want to get a good magnet. Depending on what part of the world in there, if the water or sand or off-roading he did had a high magnetite or iron ore content, I'm going to show you what happens here. Okay, so this is all underneath the brake drum. See that? So we're going to go inside of here too. All right, so what's going on here is the magnetic encoder ring is actually slightly magnetized a little bit, and it collects, believe it or not, the iron ore deposits. So iron can come from decaying brake materials and brake linings, but I'm going to tell you, wherever this guy was off-roading and burying his Jeep, and this is the sure signs of it, that this thing was underwater, that the iron content, either in the friction material or the environment itself that he was off-roading in, is what caused the air gap problem. So that air gap ring needs to be cleaned. I couldn't get this tab out, but I'm going to continue to fiddle with it because I need to see if that's full of green crusties too. So sometimes you'll see the corrosion in here pushing the sensor out on some vehicles. So that's one thing you want to check. And then you want to make sure that there's no green crusties inside this pigtail. So that's my next step at this Jeep here moving forward. But the adjusters are seized. The parking brake barely works. So it's going to need new shoes, adjusters, and hardware, new brake pads and rotors, a left rear caliper, and then you can see the color difference. See the color difference? Anytime you see that hot cast iron rust looking rotor that you don't see here, see the differences in the color? Pay attention. That tells you that that rotor was overheating. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I wonder what the differential's like. I could only imagine.